Yo, so I already know that this is going to be a video that I get a lot of pushback on, which is fine. I like to do videos like this to get y'all thinking. Y'all can ratio me to hell. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Now, I will say that I've done a video. You can go check it out. It's on my channel talking about why people take issue with military. And I believe I talked about law enforcement as well, but it might be specific to military. But the point of this video is I want to briefly and slowly go through why I think it would be conducive, it would be productive, hell, actually, if conservatives, certainly mainstream conservatives, which exists in large number, they should reconsider their borderline worship of military folk and police officers. Now, y'all should know my position on police officers and military, considering that I am an anarchist. I look at them as agents of the state. I look at them as what they are, right? Not what I want to think that they are or anything like that. I think of them as what they actually are, and that is state agents, right? And but regardless of that, take into consideration what these people are, who these people are, right? If you are a mainstream conservative, you are the thin blue line type, thank you for your service. You think that both of those occupations inherent some sort of, I don't know, respect, inherent like disrespect, just because they feel that position, just because they thought to join the military or they thought to be a police officer, maybe you wouldn't, other individuals would not have. You think they deserve and they inherit the respect, like that position in itself is respectful, right? And the reason why I'm really influenced to do this video actually is because I remember I got pulled over. I did a Facebook Live post. I got pulled over, and I had these. I took issue with what it popped off, and then looking at it in the grand scheme of things and how police officers actually ruin people's fucking lives, in simple pullovers and simple and things of that nature. So traffic stops, all of that shit. Like that shit can lead to somebody's life being ruined. And you get these folks, oh, just overreacting. He's just doing his job and shit like that. And it seems like any time that I'm critical of them, it's like, oh, it's a blanket statement. They're just doing the jobs and so forth. But the reason why you should reconsider is because, and in some cases, right, certainly when it comes to like gun ownership, when it comes to why this is an important thing, conservatives tend to have the right idea. They just don't extend it to the logical conclusion. Because the right idea is that, well, we need gun ownership because to fight, it ain't just a hunt, right? It's in the event that we got to keep the government in check. So in the event that there's a tyrannical government, we got to keep them in check, and we got to be able to defend ourselves. And generally, they have the right idea because that is correct. The problem is, and you can argue that on the other side, they're kind of hypocritical in this fact as well, as that they don't realize who are the individuals that are going to enforce these laws. And this is what kills me about why these people like automatically praise these people just because of their position, and then will in turn say they're just doing their job, which actually sounds like, well, they're just order followers, which is what I say. So when they stand down in Portland and don't help somebody get their ass whooped, well, oh, look at the politician, right? Who ordered them to do that? Like they start shifting the blame, and I'm like, well, you're actually confirming my point that they are just agents. They're not order followers, not serving and protecting anybody. In fact, I believe that hell, you got all these vast amount of court cases that solidify and prove that they don't have to fucking serve and protect you. They're not on an obligation to do that. But nonetheless, those laws, even in socialist economic laws, who are the individuals that are front line in actually enforcing them? It's not the asshat politician. It's not the lawmaker. It's not the bureaucrat. It's the law enforcement. And in some cases, military, certainly in that regards, when we talk about war efforts and shit like that, things that a lot of people have a problem with. Because people operate under this idea, which is totally false, that those two institutions, right, whether it be law enforcement, military, they're just trying to serve and protect. They're just trying to defend people. And it doesn't take anything but surface level research to understand that that's not all they do. And in fact, in a lot of cases, they don't. The fuck my freedoms are doing overseas. They're not over there, right? The hell, I got to do with bombing hospitals and shit, right? What does that have to do with my freedoms, right? But in the event that these politicians pass these laws, who are the people that are front line? It's the cops. It's the law enforcement. Different forms of, not just local cops. It's just law enforcement in general. Military folk in general are the ones that are going to carry this out. Certainly, it's not going to be Bernie Sanders coming to my door. If he passes a new law that raises my taxes and I tell IRS to go fuck themselves, it's not them that's going to come get me. It's not Bernie Sanders' old ass about to come to my house and come jack me. That's not what's going to happen. We already seen this in effect, and this is what kills me when folks say that worship these types are all like, man, those military folk, or they would never, or the law enforcement, they would never turn on their own citizens if let's say they were going to do gun confiscations, or they were being ordered to attack their own citizens. I'm like, really? I don't believe that. I have no reason to believe that. I covered a case on this channel in Baltimore enforcing a new red flag law. And the guy, of course, is like, no, go fuck themselves, right? Come and take it. That's what he was basically saying. And they killed him. The people you worship killed that man. So which one is it? Is it come and take it? Or is it fucking, just should have followed the law? So either you got those 3%er come and take it types are full of shit. They're full of shit. Or they just don't extend it to the logical conclusion and recognize that the same individuals that they praise are the same individuals that are gonna come take it. When those laws get passed by those asshat politicians, they're the ones that are going to enforce it in the event that you say, no, go fuck yourself. Who's going to carry out the warrants? Who's going to carry the shit out? Who's going to come lock you up? Who will shoot you dead in the event you decide to resist? Right? It's going to be the same people that you praise and worship. Now, the reason why you should reconsider that is because, believe it or not, I see people, and rightfully so, bitching about leftism infiltrating every form and aspect of people's lives, and it seems that their control is nothing but growing. But if you guys even questioned more, like you should, were more critical of those people that you worship, in a lot of cases, those problems wouldn't be a problem, right? It would actually arguably change overnight if the vast majority of mainstream conservatives said, you know what, fuck the when it comes to spending efforts, anything like that, they can go fuck themselves. They're gonna enforce these unjust laws, keep robbing people. Go fuck yourself, right? We would see a massive fucking swing, bro. We would see a huge swing. But that's not gonna happen. And leftists, mainstream leftists, understand that. And this is the part where they're kind of hypocritical, is they be the main one demonizing the police, but they're the ones that carry out their nonsensical laws, economic laws. Ultimately, again, it's not going to be AOC that's coming to take your guns, or it's not going to be AOC coming to take more from your income. That's not going to be them. That's not who it's going to be. It's going to be state agents, law enforcement, federal, local, military folk, all of that shit. I'm putting them in that box, and I have no problem putting them in that box because they are state agents ultimately. So you can make the argument if that's your case, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that for one bit, that if they decide to pass more laws, that the cops or the law enforcement in one way, shape, or form is going to be like, no, we're not going to enforce it. If they had integrity and they were there to serve and protect like you claim they would, like you claim that they do, that they have the respect that you think they are deserved, we wouldn't even be in a problem. We wouldn't have the problems that we have. I wouldn't even need to make this video if that were truly the case. If they were like, you know what, no, right? They say, you guys are, we're under our Constitution, that little piece of paper that you think is saving you, right? The same piece of paper that has either gotten you this bloated government that you have or was unable to stop it from becoming that. Shout out to Lysander Spooner. But again, if they were there to serve and protect, we wouldn't have these issues. But they're not. They're just state agents. And you guys confirm that when people that come in conflict with these types, you just say, follow the law, right? That's your answer. Follow the law. You're overreacting. Follow the law. Fight it in court. Like that type of dumb shit, right? He should have just followed the law. Why would you, like that type of shit? No matter how unjust the law is, no matter how silly it is, that's your response, right? We got to get more. Well, this law was there. Why didn't he follow? Like that type of dumb shit. Never mind if it was an actual crime. Never mind if there's no victim, right? But these are the guys you guys claim we should serve and protect. These fucking people that you treat like fucking robots. Wow, that's why I don't understand why you think that they inherit some type of respect, and then will in turn turn around and say that they're just following the rules. They're just doing their jobs, right? When somebody goes and gets pulled over for something minor, right? And that leads to a ticket that he can't pay for, which happens all the time, believe it or not, in the hood, because you didn't like the way he rolled through a stop sign at 3 a.m, right? He instead of coming to a full stop, he rolled through it, right? And then he didn't have money to pay for the ticket, right? And then he got pulled over for some other shit, going 5 miles over the speed limit at 3 a.m. on a highway, and you decided to pull him over. And then you saw that he had a warrant because he couldn't pay for that stupid ass rolling through the stop sign victimless crime ticket, right? And then he went to jail. And then he lost his job. That shit happens all the time. Or because he had a plant, right? He was chilling and he had a plant. You raided his house, shot his dog. Like that type of shit happens all the time. Believe it or not the latter, because I don't do drugs or anything like that. But believe it or not, that story that I just told you about this whole stop sign shit, that happened to me. I went to jail for that. Yes, I went to, and believe it or not, that stop sign, ironically, was only it was down the street from my house. This asshat pulled me over for that. Who was he helping, right? At 3 a.m, literally nobody's on the road, and I'm down the street from my house. I just didn't come to a complete stop. Stop, but it was a rolling stop. So I did come to a complete stop. It didn't stop all the way. There's nobody coming on either side. Oh, he's just doing his job. And I went to jail for that. I did. I'm not even making this shit up. I went to jail for that. 19 years of age. 18, 19 years of age. That happened to me. I'm not even making that shit up. People's lives get ruined for that shit, right? But I'm being completely honest, and I want you to really consider what it is that I'm saying. If conservatives, mainstream conservatives, sort of reconsidered the thought process, this inherent respect, this worship of military folk and cops, and law enforcement more so, there will be a great shift, a great political shift, right? Certainly in America's case. And it would be for the better. But you're going to keep losing this war so as long as you put that much faith in the state. And again, it contradicts the other shit. These the same come and take it types. I don't get it. Don't tread on me types. 3%, like these the same people that do that shit. The same people that say and do this shit will be the same folks that will have a thin blue line worship. I'm like, who the fuck do you think is coming and take it? Bernie? Nelly Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi? Joe Biden? They're the ones that are gonna come and take it? No, It's the people that you worship. So all I'm saying is, when I know you're gonna be butthurt in the comments, consider what I'm saying and reconsider, at least reanalyze the position that these folks are owed some sort of inherent respect just because they fill a position. Never mind the numerous amounts of asshats that are law enforcement officers and fucking military folk. Never mind that. That's why I don't inherently respect anybody for that matter. That shit's earned. You know what I mean? And that's not just because you put on a badge or just because you went and fought in a war that I did not ask you to fight in. Oh, protecting my freedoms, right? That's the game. Protect you. Oh, go call a crack. I ain't never had to call the cops. I ain't never had to call the cops. Somebody can rob me, they gonna shot up. I'm telling you the fucking, the only reason I'm gonna have to call y'all is because I can't dispose of the body. That's the only reason. Because y'all got a territorial monopoly. It's a territorial monopoly. Y'all have a monopoly under law. So, in order to save my own ass, I gotta go jump through the hoops, right? That's the only reason why I would call their ass. It's because of the monopoly that they have. In a lot of cases, you have to go through them. There's no way around it. You have to go through them. They don't monopolize. Ain't that some shit, right? And I know I'm going on a tangent here, but ain't that some shit? They monopolized the law, right? They monopolized the law. So they're saying that they're the only ones that can rightfully do this, rightfully fight crime, rightfully do this, rightfully do that. And then they say you should thank them for their service, for doing it. You can't, people can't even compete with you, bro. You stomp them out. But no, on a serious note, man, conservatives should really, and I encourage you guys to reconsider their position on law enforcement and military.